SugarNoms TV. I'm Marissa Angelina, and today I'm going to make spiced pumpkin scones. And I'm very excited because it is fall, and I'm planning on making a lot of fall recipes. So I'll start off by giving you the ingredients that you'll be needing for this recipe. You want to start off by preheating your oven to 400 degrees. So the next thing we'll need to do is to combine our dry ingredients in a large bowl, which is the flour, baking powder, baking soda, salt, pumpkin pie spice, and brown sugar. And if you don't have pumpkin pie spice, then you could just substitute it with ginger, nutmeg, cloves, and cinnamon, which is basically what pumpkin pie spice is. So you could just substitute it for that. Using a whisk, just combine this. The next thing we are going to do is to mix in our cold butter. It's very important for the butter to be very cold. I've just took this out of the fridge, and make sure it's cubed so it's easier to mix. I am mixing this with a pastry cutter. You just mash it in, and you mash it in until maybe about 5 minutes by hand. And you should do it until the butter pieces are the size of tiny peas. And you could also mix the butter in with the food processor. I think it's a lot easier too. As you can see, they're like the size of peas, and you could barely see the bits of butter. And that's when you would just set it aside, and then we're going to start on our wet ingredients. So for our wet ingredients, we're just putting it in a medium bowl because we're putting our wet ingredients into our dry mixture. So in your medium bowl, you're going to put in your pumpkin puree, vanilla extract, egg, and your milk, or you can also just use half and half. Combine them with a whisk. So the next thing we're going to do is using a spatula. You're just going to fold your wet mixture into your dry mixture until they're well combined. All of this. So on a floured surface, you're just going to pour your dough and just sprinkle the dough with flour. You want to make sure that nothing sticks. And you're just going to knead it into just a square. This should be good. So the next thing we're going to do, once it's into a nice square, I like using a pizza cutter. It's really good for cutting. this type of dough. So we're just going to cut it into fourths. And this is just how I cut them. You could do it your way too. And then you're just going to cut it diagonally. And then just cut that piece in half. And then once you're done with that, you could put it on your cookie sheet. Oh, and here's another way to cut the scones. So you take one of your squares of dough, then cut it into fourths, and then cut it diagonally, and then cut the other side diagonally. So now I'm going to make the spiced glaze for the scones. The first thing you'll need to do is to put in your powdered sugar and your pumpkin spice into a medium bowl. I have put them into the medium bowl, and now you're just going to give it a whisk. And now you're going to put in your milk. I have some milk here. You could also just use half and half, whatever you want. And I'm just gonna add them tablespoon by tablespoon. I might use about 2 to 3 tablespoons. I want this glaze to be really thin so it's easy to put over the scones. I'm gonna start off with one and see how it goes. And then you could add more as you go. I think this is a pretty good consistency for now. So on a wire rack with something like a paper towel or something under the rack, using a spoon, you're just going to scoop the glaze and just drizzle it on top of the scones. So once you're done putting the glaze on top of the pumpkin scones, you can let them sit on the wire rack for about 10 to 15 minutes until they are set, and then you're ready to serve them. So I hope you enjoyed this recipe, and don't forget to comment or subscribe to my channel at SugarNoms TV, and I would like to hear any suggestions on what you would like me to make next. And I'll see you in my next episode. Bye!